Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Robb Zipp Show. I am your host, Robb Zipp. Today is Wednesday, February 19th, 2025, and I'm coming to you live from my studio here in Spring, Texas. And I'm welcoming my guests from Austin, right down the road, the Bright Light Social Hour. Welcome to the show, guys.
How's it going?
Howdy.
All
Hey.
right, and you guys are about to take a big tour.
We're coming to Houston first.
Yeah, you guys will be in Houston on Friday. Yeah. Unfortunately, I will be in San Francisco. I'm for those of you who don't know, I'm a flight attendant. So
Word.
I'm all over the place. I know my March schedule already. I'm not going to be in any of those cities, but I have no idea what my April schedule is. Maybe I'll be in Tampa on April 6th.
Maybe.
That's a
Let us
possibility.
know, man. We'll throw you on the list.
I appreciate that. I'm sorry I can't make it to the Houston show. And for those of you that have watched my channel for a long time, you guys know that I typically interview metal bands. The Bright Light Social Hour, not a metal band. You're more of an indie pop band, but you guys have been in Austin for like over 20 years. Well, I mean, I guess you're from Austin, but I mean, the band has been together for over 20 years, right?
That's
Just
right.
about 20
Just about, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are well known, and you guys are probably one of the bigger bands in the Austin area. So it's an honor for me to have you on the show. So thank you, guys.
Of course.
Honor to be here.
Yeah. So your last album, Emergency Awesome, came out about 2 years ago.
Emergency Leisure.
Emergency Leisure. I'm sorry.
Awesome. Is that what you said? I love that.
Yeah.
Emergency Awesome. That is something. That's something that's in the back of my brain that snuck out.
Awesome.
That is
be awesome right now.
Yeah. Emergency Leisure. So, but you guys decided that you're going to go ahead and go on tour right now. So what is it that you're touring? I mean, you do have a lot of albums over the past 20 years. So is this kind of like a best of tour, or are you still kind of in that same Emergency Leisure thing, or are you going to put out some new stuff on this tour?
So yeah, a little of all of the above. We're still touring, this new record, Emergency Leisure, but this is also the 10-year anniversary of our second record, Space Is Still the Place. So we're doing like a whole segment of the show dedicated to that. So we kind of will play like a whole run of a good chunk of that record in our live sets, as well as some new singles that we've just put out. Call My Name and Empty Fields are two recent singles that we've put out from our last record. And we're also trying out some new stuff. We've been in the studio working on a new record. So we really love, this is like the perfect time for us to go out and road test stuff. We learn a lot. It's really ideal for us if we can play a song a little bit live before totally finishing the tracking. We end up learning so much. So that's kind of all of it. Kind of a retrospective, a lot of focus on new stuff and future stuff too.
All right. Now I noticed that you guys do have a lot of some jazzy elements, a little blues elements in your stuff. What on the new stuff that you guys are working on, is it going to be kind of the same? You got to throw in a little bit more Al Di Meola kind of things, or
It's heavy metal time.
it's metal time. So you guys some of your stuff does kind of remind me of the King Gizzard Lizard.
Sure.
And they run the gamut with their albums as well. So they put out metal albums. I wouldn't be shocked to hear you guys. I know you guys started off as like a post-hardcore band way back in the day. So
you've heard of everything because we like all sorts of music, but like with the metal side, I was a guitar player in the 90s as a teenager, and so my world was dominated by metal music. Like Pantera is just about my favorite band in the world. Still kind of is in a way.
Pantera fucking rules.
So there's nothing on our new record that sounds a lot like Pantera, but like there's little subtle influences I think that hard rock and heavy music have, like for our band. We like some darker textures. We like some more minor keys. we like intricate drumming, like kind of highly technical drumming and riffs. And in some ways, like our roles are a little reversed than a metal band, where like Jack is maybe more like the riffer, and like I'm more of the like an atmosphere guy than like a riffer.
Like so the
but
bass
there are
is,
also guitar solos too.
Yeah.
So,
no,
you know,
Sabbath is huge.
Sabbath
like
is huge.
that's a big touchstone, and
that's like a
for
band
us,
that we all like for sure.
And I have to apologize. I didn't let you guys introduce yourselves or let anybody know what you guys do in the band. That might be kind of important for people to know.
I'm Curtis. I play guitar and sing in the band.
I'm Jackie. I play bass and sing.
I'm Mia. I play keys and sing as well.
Okay.
And we've also got 2 drummers that are not with us today.
So you have a drummer and a percussionist, or do they? Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
He kind of has he's unique. The percussionist. His kid is like, because in a lot of bands he is both a drummer and percussionist. He has a unique like. It's funny because I was like, this is crazy. He's like, dude, in Mexico this is really normal. He's from Monterrey, Mexico. Alfredo is his name, and he has like a acoustic percussion setup with 3 congas and like cowbells and all that stuff, but also has like an electronic full kit. So he's playing like snare and kick and everything too. So he switches between doing like often with one hand, he'll be doing like sort of offbeat syncopated conga stuff. And then with the other one, he'll be like reinforcing a drum beat or a counter beat to the other drummer. So yeah, it adds a lot live.
And our drummer is kind of a percussion guy too. Like he studied percussion in Ghana and is like really into that from a drummer's perspective. So they're a little like under each other's skirts, you know?
Yeah, sure. I totally do. Yeah, under each other's skirts. I like that.
I know. That got me too. Never heard that one. But no, we're just trying to draw all the parallels we can to metal to connect with
No, guys, listen, you don't have to try to, change yourself for me or my audience or whatever.
No, not at all. These are all true facts about our band.
You should have heard the song. We just started a new song yesterday.
Happy to talk about it.
Yeah. Yesterday, I feel like that song we're working on is maybe the heaviest thing we've done. One of the super. I'm excited to share it. I won't say too much.
Okay. All right. Well, now I could have swore I probably have seen you guys at a South by Southwest at some point. But I noticed your schedule here. You guys are going to be gone from Austin during all that, right?
I think we get back just as South by starting, but yeah, we're
like narrowly back home.
Yeah,
okay.
We're taking it a little easy this year.
I don't know if we'll formally participate, but sometimes there's like a last minute great party with a bunch of bands you want to play with and you jump on just kind of for fun and do it.
Every year we're like, we're not fucking doing this again. It's the last time. We're like, it is, you often don't get paid well for the shows, and all the streets are closed. It's a nightmare to get into sound checks. The changeovers are 20 minutes. There's no sound check. So we're like, we're not doing that. And then every year, last minute, we get a few opportunities that are cool. And we're like,
and then we of course have fun.
Yeah.
Because it's always fun in the end.
I had to pop in too. It's like, I'm not from Austin. I'm from Cincinnati. So my first experience of Austin was just being a South by band. And so I think it's such an incredible festival. I think it's one of the most international music festivals that I've ever been a part of or attended. And so that aspect I think is so cool to be like, let's go see this band from Germany that maybe has never toured in the States before. So I do have to shout out all the positive aspects as well as like minor kind of inconveniences when you actually live in Austin. And so I think that's our perspective, not as a band that's like, South by sucks or we're ungrateful or like, oh, we're so over that. It's like, it's an amazing thing. It's just when it's in your backyard, it does create some inconveniences, I would say.
Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, I go to New Orleans with some friends every year, like a week and a half before Mardi Gras. There's still parties going on and stuff. And like you said, the inconveniences with the street closures and everything, a lot of people will just leave New Orleans and rent out their house to Airbnb just to be out from there. So I can see the same thing in Austin for that.
It's wild.
Exactly.
It's something like, and this is like an old stat, but it's something like over 10,000 bands come every year. It's wild. It's a circus and it's a lot of fun. It will kill you.
It will. Yeah. You may not make it, but it's an insanely cool international music boot camp. And it's just so awesome to be able to look all across the city and like throw a rock and hit another musician too. That part is really, really cool. So the opportunity for connection with other players, I think is really exciting and high. And as a band that's been like officially on for probably like 10 years, I've had multiple bands be officials on too. It's like, it's okay if we let other newer bands and acts come and take the official slots, and like maybe we'll slide in for a party here and there.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of our overall.
Well, how did you guys, like, you guys have been around together, but I'm sure, you know, there's been members come and go. How did you guys get together?
Jack and I went to the same college 20 years ago, Southwestern University in Georgetown, just up the road from us in Austin. And it's a very small liberal arts college. And we had a unique feature at campus at time where you could send out a campus-wide email to just all the students, you know?
Oh, wow.
Only like, say, 1,300 students, but it's still like kind of an inconceivable thing. Like later on, we did some grad work at UT, and just the idea that you could send an email to like every UT student would be insane. We'd probably be like promoting our band like every other day.
Yeah.
And that's probably why we
Concert
can't have
Friday.
nice things. But most of the time, this listserv was just like endless debating. The war in Iraq was like the big thing at the time, right? But I was looking to start a band, and a buddy of mine who played drums, we like put together all of our musical influences of the time, and there were a lot of hardcore bands, like these kind of like 20. This was 2004,
Dude.
so there'd be like Dillinger Escape Plan, there'd be like the Blood Brothers, Fugazi, like sort of political hardcore bands.
Yeah.
Then we also liked kind of really ambient leaning music in some ways. So, you know, an Austin band, Explosions in the Sky,
Sure,
like really would be really big for us. And like I had a soft spot for like just, you know, good old fashioned like indie rock bands like Radiohead and stuff too. So I sent
Andy
out
will
this,
know us
like,
by the Trail of Dead. I feel like
yeah,
those. I saw this
oh, yeah.
list.
band. So
was
I
like,
like just sent a list out with like some influences, and they just perfectly dovetailed. And Jack was like, you know, instantly part of the thing that we had started. And you know, for a few years we were just a local band around schools, Austin. Just we do our show a month, kind of work on our sound. But right around the time we got done working on some grad studies, we were like done with academia for life, had to move on. and we made our first album 2010 and started touring and didn't look back, you know, just kept pushing it.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I'm glad you guys have, like, what makes a band like keep going for so long?
We like each other.
That helps. Yeah, that helps.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
Man, I heard this.
You have to be rich or you have to like each other.
Yeah. You.
And
I heard this great quote from.
But not too rich.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Watch
you
out in
know.
the background. Not too rich. You know? You can have $999 million. You get one more dollar, buddy.
Send it back.
Send it back to the guillotine. Elon, if you're watching, this means you, bud.
Oh, he is not watching this.
You're first in line. I hope you're somehow watching this.
We're coming for you.
We're coming.
We're gonna have an FBI case on us.
I saw a thing today. It was like a Google News article about how, you know, he's having all these kids with all these ladies, but he's all doing it by IVF because his thing doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
He had a botched enlargement job.
I've heard of
What?
rumors of this.
I have not.
Yeah, so that's why he's so angry at the world. Why he's gone full Nazi because his pecker doesn't work.
It's a villain origin story if I ever heard one.
More common than you think, you know?
He's some
Just-
surgical monster in his pants, and none of his kids love him. He's probably a sad guy.
How are you gonna have 1,300 kids if you're not even doing it on accident? That's crazy. Wow.
He has 13 kids, not 1,300.
Wait,
He might have 1,300 eventually, because obviously he's not getting with these women. He's not copulating, so he's just got all of his stuff in like frozen.
He
Like a
used to
t-shirt
want to
gun.
like populate Mars and stuff, and I could get the 1,300 students, but now he just wants to fire park rangers. So I don't really know what you need 1,300 people for to do that.
It's
I don't know.
ridiculous.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but back to how I don't know. Maybe this is how people stay in band for so long.
So Mia, how did you join the band?
Oh yeah. So I heard this quote that was like all successes is just going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm, and I think that's it. Like,
Yeah.
can you handle getting your ass kicked every time you try to do something? It's hard. Most people quit after a while,
Sure.
but it's a lot easier if you have great people around you encouraging you, and when you're down, like lifting up. And I think that's what's great about having like a more of a democratic type of band like we have set up, where it allows for somebody, if one person needs to take some time for another project, or just is whatever, has another job they need to take on for a period or whatever, then like the organism adjusts for that and allows that space, and like the others fill in, and then it changes. And so I feel like if it was just me, for example, running the whole thing, when I lose momentum, the whole thing would lose momentum, and it would be a lot of stopping and starting. And I think with us, we have that luxury that somebody's always kicking the ball further down the field, and I think it really encourages us to just keep going. And we've had lineups that have changed, but I mean, this current one, it's been about, let's see, Alfredo, the percussionist, joined in 2022. And it's just been the best. When we tour, we have a blast, and everyone's like, I think the main thing that I really love about this band, and I would attribute to our recent like sustained enthusiasm, is this like yes and attitude. So I think when we were younger, we would keep the creation and the judgment on top of each other a lot of times. And I think now we've matured enough to know that like when you're in the middle of creating, it's not time to think about good or bad in terms of good or bad. You just, hey, this person, Mia has this chord progression, whatever. It doesn't matter how I feel about it. What can I do to take it a little further? And then that's just all everybody's doing. And so eventually, you get something finished, and you're probably going to be pretty excited about it. And if it's not, then whatever, there's another song. Like, we don't think of each song as the end of it all. Like, if one doesn't come out super fantastic, then whatever, the next one will.
Yeah. There's a tension. I think a lot about this lately. There's a tension between creativity and taste. And I think there's a popular, probably misconception that to be an excellent creative, you also have excellent taste. And it kind of happens at the same time that you use your good taste to make like good art. But taste really, at the end of the day, is a set of cultural rules that decides that something's good and something's bad. It's making a prejudgment, and it's therefore like limiting the boundaries of the creativity. The creativity should be boundless. You know? And it's like whether our song is good or not is almost like not our job to decide.
100%. There are artists and there are critics, and they're different people for a reason. And when the artist starts to try to become the critic, I think that's when you stop producing. You stop making art, because it becomes impossible to both make and critique simultaneously. I mean, as like an overarching theme with this.
You beat yourself up over it.
Right. You just get in your own way to the point where you can't release anything, and then you're no longer an artist if you're not making the art. So I think that's really important to keep in mind. I think that's something that we've all battled individually and with groups, and we've all kind of overcome that in a way, and keep each other in check on pushing things forward and not falling back into that trap.
Okay, awesome. So on your tour, do you guys have a set list for, is it going to be the same set list each night, or do you guys change it up a little bit?
We change it up. I mean, I would say there's like, a good chunk of the set that there's like just songs that for us, it's a bummer not to play, because they just, we've played them, so we've gotten them so dialed in live, and we've figured out. So, there's like, sections that we'll keep intact, and then the rest of it sort of rewrite night to night, what we're feeling. If we know it's going to be a sold out night, we might put some like higher energy stuff in there. If we know the opener is like, or maybe even hearing the opener, like this tour, we're going to have mostly different openers each night that are from each city. So, you hear something that inspires, oh, it makes me want to play this song. Just like how the sound guy hears your set and then they like want to hear certain music afterwards. And that's always interesting to me. So yeah, both.
Well, I see you're playing back-to-back nights in Telluride. I would imagine you play different sets on those.
Yeah, something like that. We just did 2 nights in Buda, Texas, just south of Austin. And we did very different sets the 2 nights because we knew there'd be some people attending both. So when we do that 2 nights in the same city, we'll definitely change it up quite a bit more.
How was Buda?
Really good.
Killer.
We sold out on Saturday night. Friday was Valentine's Day. Also great. And we didn't really know if, like 5-10 years ago, that's just like a tiny suburb we would never have ever imagined playing. And now it's like, I'm just like Houston, Austin has grown. So to start to encompass all the suburban towns around. So now there's like, the city never ends and there's plenty of people there that come from all around at this point. So turns out that's a place that will keep going.
What about San Antonio?
San Antonio,
San Antonio. We go to Sam's Burger Joint a lot lately.
Okay.
Last years.
Yeah, like once a year, once a cycle. Typically, we'll hit that up, and it's a great venue. I think it's really enjoyable for both like the bands, artists, and the crowd. Just a great setup, super comfortable. The sound is excellent, and
great neighborhood.
They treat us really well, and we have a great time playing. We have like an awesome time on stage too. So, shout out to Sam's Burger Joint.
I mean, it sounds delicious.
Also, the burgers are delicious.
Yeah.
They have a custom stamp, like a little brand, kind of like a cow brand. But
kind of like at Trump Burger in Belleville.
Nothing like a Trump Burger. Nothing like that. It's so much better. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, it's like a little branded burger. But it does hold up.
I've driven past that place a couple times just with my middle finger out.
Oh, sick! Yeah.
So it's ridiculous. I don't get it. But
yeah.
So yeah, you guys, when you come to Houston, I know you're playing at the White Oak Music Hall. I know you guys you've played there before, right?
No,
I don't believe we have.
Oh no, okay. Do you know if you're playing downstairs or upstairs? Do you have an idea?
Whatever is the smaller space, I'm sure is the one we're playing.
Okay. No, I mean they're both
whatever stairwell.
So yeah, the smaller stage is upstairs. But it was made specifically. It was made by some local promoters who they were booking shows at some older venues, and so they built this purpose built for a music venue.
Oh, sick!
I love when people do that. Nice. When industry folks do that, it's always like very thoughtful, mindful. Like I heard just now, there's an elevator that goes upstairs. It's like when people from our industry build venues, they usually do it with a lot of thought and care. So we're stoked to be there. We're still trying to find, I think, like our correct home in Houston. So we've been bouncing around to a couple of different venues just to see how they feel, and really excited to test this one out on Friday.
Yeah, White Oak's really nice. I think you guys will enjoy it. I think there's a nice green room for you guys. Yeah, like you said, there's an elevator. That makes me think of. Did you guys ever come to Fitzgerald's when it was in Houston?
Yeah.
I worked there. I worked there back in the late '90s, early 2000s, and I would have to help. I remember helping Frank Black carry his guitar case up the stairs.
Nice.
Because I mean, it was just an old like the stage was upstairs, and like you just had to manually carry everything, and it was terrible.
We opened for it was Daniel Johnston. It was like a birthday show that he was doing. R.I.P. It was very cool.
At Fitzgerald's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, so I think the people that opened the White Oak Music Hall, they used to do a lot of stuff at Fitzgerald's, and so this is basically a much better version of Fitzgerald's is a parking lot now. It doesn't exist.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but the White Oak Music Hall is an excellent venue.
Awesome.
So, again, I'm sorry I can't be there, guys, but
that's okay.
We're
gonna hold it against you for the rest of our lives, but
that's
it's
all right.
No,
again, maybe like I said, maybe I'll see you in Chicago, or I could see you in Minneapolis, or
Yeah,
Tampa.
anywhere you can, please
I
DM
don't,
us, and we will put you on the list for real.
Yeah.
I meant that. So wherever you can touch down, I don't know
So-
what airline you work for, but just let us know.
I was connected to you guys via Kelsey. Kelsey is the one who set this up.
Kelsey works on our marketing team.
She's awesome.
She's amazing. She's in Australia right now, so shout out to her too. She's probably not awake. No idea what time it is there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either.
Like 16 hours in the future or something, right?
Yeah, so she might be awake. It's like
Maybe.
Thursday evening there.
Shout out.
Yeah. So yeah, it's hard for me to plan far in advance, you know. And she was asking about doing this like Monday or Tuesday, but I was working on those days too, so that's why we're doing it today. And she said that it'd have to be before 4 p.m. because you guys have other engagements. So I typically go for about an hour on these things, but she said that I had 30 minutes with you guys. So I don't know what else would you guys like to mention, since I feel like I got to cut it like a guillotine.
Yeah, we're not super strict. We're just in the studio. Yeah.
Actually, we're in the. I don't know if you can see much back there, but it's our little recording studio. We worked out of here for the last 10 years.
Okay.
You're like Travis, or more than 10 years. And we kind of record and self-produce our records. And we got the 6th one on the way.
Yeah,
pretty deep into it.
That's what we're working on today. And typically Monday, Tuesday, we're in here all day, but we just had a whole weekend of shows, so it actually worked out great because we're all together. It's easier for us to hop on and kind of, I don't know, share in a collective vibe instead of each being on our own computers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're grateful that you could work with us and have us on to chat about the tour. I mean, I think that's really what we're here to talk about. It's the Most High tour. I love that you put the dates down there. It's going to be a blast. We are super excited to kind of debut some new music. Anything else you want to add, Jackie? Or Kurt?
Yeah, we're mostly Colorado, Texas, and East Coast. Actually, the only Texas states we're doing right now are Houston and Buda, which we already did. And then, from here we'll head up to Colorado and doing a bunch of dates around Colorado, Denver, 2 nights in Telluride, and Fort Collins. We'll also be heading down from there to Florida and coming up the East Coast. Then through like Lexington, Chicago, Indianapolis, and ending in Minneapolis. So if you're in any of those, you're watching in the eastern half of the country or Colorado, come check us out. Check these dates out here on the bottom.
Check them out. And
are you guys going to go skiing in Telluride?
I was thinking about it,
Funny you should mention it. I'm like in a ski outfit right now, like full après ski vibes. Skiing is my whole personality. I don't actually play in the Bright Light Social Hour. I'm just here to promote my own ski tourism.
Okay.
No, I ski. I don't think anyone else skis.
I do, but it's just
we're not going to ski on tour because it feels like tempting fate. Like we're all
fair enough.
Older, young, vibrant, but like not 20-year-old people, So
we keep a football at the studio to go throw it and take breaks, clear our minds. And one day the day before the last tour, we were throwing the football and I jammed my finger like really bad.
Oh no.
And then immediately afterwards, I threw it to the percussionist Alfredo. He jammed his finger, and both of us started the tour like all stiff and unable to from fucking tossing a football. So
exactly,
I know maybe we shouldn't ski on tour, but
I'm gonna get some new ski boots though, which I'm gonna get some real deal nice custom molded boots while I'm in probably Telluride. But keep my skiing separate from touring, which is already hard on your body enough. So, we don't want to tempt the gods. But I will say just about this tour, like it's a stressful time for a lot of people. There's a lot of insanity going on in news and the headlines in this current administration. And I feel like the reason we're wanting to go on tour on a non-album year is just to provide that space for people to come to engage with music, engage with their community, come and let go with us for 90 minutes and dance, get inside your body and relieve some stress or anxiety if that's what you're feeling. That's another reason why we do what we do and why we bring it to people and why we get into a van and fucking drive our crazy asses around. It's to bring a good, positive vibe and a safe space to people, and some musical healing when they need it.
Awesome. Well, that's a great message. And again, if you're in these cities, you can go to the brightlightsocialhour.com, and you also have your tour dates on there and links to all of your social media, your Spotify, your Apple Music, your YouTube. You guys have been on YouTube for quite a while, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dig through. There's a lot to go through there.
Yeah, so it's all on their website, thebrightlightsocialhour.com.
Thank
Awesome.
you so much. Thanks for having us.
All right, thanks guys. Stick around, and I'll give you a private goodbye after, if you don't mind.
Of course.
All
Thanks,
right.
Rob.
All right, the Bright Light Social Hour. They are on tour now. If you're in any of these cities, get out and see them, guys. They put on a fun show. Like I said, I'm certain I've seen them more than once in Austin at a South by Southwest or something like that. Austin's just right down the street from here, so I end up there all the time randomly. Hopefully I'll end up in one of these cities where they're playing and get to see them while I'm on the road myself. I'm going to San Francisco tomorrow, so I'm going to do a couple things out there. Hope you check that out. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And if you're a billionaire, watch out. The guillotine's going to get you.